Objects fall or rise based on their relative density to the medium surrounding them. No gravity necessary. This is why raindrops fall down through the air and air bubbles rise up through water. Everything seeks its relative density and rises or falls until settling accordingly. This is why a tiny pebble sinks to the bottom of the ocean, but gigantic cruise ships and aircraft carriers stay afloat on the surface. Because even though a pebble is so small, its mass relative to its volume, its density, is more than water, so it sinks. And even though a cruise ship is so large, its mass relative to its volume is less than water, so it floats. Have you ever noticed how it's easier to stay afloat with your lungs full of air than it is when they're empty? If Newton's apple had landed in a puddle instead of on his head, he would have seen the apple only fell through the air because it was denser than the air, but then floated on top of the water because it was less dense than water. Submarines float on the surface when their ballast tanks are filled with air, but when the vents are opened and seawater floods in, they begin to sink as the submarine's density becomes greater than water. Sailors simply adjust the ratio of air and water in their tanks, and when ready to resurface, they blow compressed air into the tank. We can also prove this fact of relative density by filling a balloon with approximately half helium and half air. Helium is lighter than the oxygen, nitrogen, and other gases that compose the air around us. Filling a balloon with just the right amount of helium to compensate for and balance out the density of the plastic